My phone's on silent. I'll leave
I need to silence mine too.
I'll leave it on silent, but if you see me glancing at my phone, that's
for good reason.
I gotta be a good friend. I gotta be there.
I hear you, dude.
As I sit around this table, record a podcast, and drink a beer.
We're back in the podcast, man.
Brother.
Where have we been? What have we been doing?
It's only been 5 months.
5 months?
5 months.
Dude, it is cold down here. Oh, man. I should
120 days? 160 days?
Back in my basement.
50 days?
We just seemed
hey,
like
I brought a hoodie this time.
I know, yeah.
Woo!
But, man, I'm glad we're back recording. This is fun.
Yes, sir.
Life happens fast. I got a ton of stuff going on in my life right now.
Yeah,
my life's been upside down. But, you know, good things on the horizon. And so...
dude, 2024. You know New Year's is like next weekend.
Yes.
Are we doing anything?
I don't
Just
have any
say yes.
plans. Yeah.
Okay,
I guess we'll do something.
We gotta do something.
As of the time of this recording, I have no plans. So...
We gotta make plans. Dude, where were you at last night, brother?
Oh, so last night we went to...
You didn't go.
I didn't go to the show. I didn't go to the were you at the show?
Yeah. Me, Tim, Nick was there with his girlfriend.
He invited me, but like, man, we've been
bailed.
doing so much here at the house.
You bailed.
I didn't get in town until late. And then Dad was here helping me do some stuff around the house. And then we were just like, well... let's go to Home Depot and load up on a bunch of stuff that other projects we got to do. And then we went to Saws, and that's where Tim was.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, there's a show going across the street. He's like, it starts at like 8:30. Well, right before we came to Saws, we walked over because Tristan has bike parked out there.
Yeah, he was there too.
And I was like, Dad was like wanting to see his Sportster. So I was like, oh, this is Tristan's bike. Let's go take a look. And we could hear the bands playing. And so when we went into Saws to sit down and eat, Tim's like, oh, yeah, we're just waiting for the show to start. I was like, I think the show has started because there was like 5 bands on the poster.
Yeah. But one of the bands dropped, and so I think they were just doing sound check or something.
It sounded like they were full-blown playing, but whatever. And
it didn't kick off till like 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first band, like official band didn't play till like 8:30.
Well, one of the dudes from TV's a Terror posted a video of like Legion playing, and so... I know there was a lot of good bands.
Legion played, All In, Forced Neglect.
Yeah.
It was gnarly. There was a lot of people showed up for Forced Neglect, and then like right after they finished, like everybody
just bailed.
left.
Really?
They didn't like leave, but people stayed up front at the bar. There was a lot of people outside smoking. I think the Haines dudes were there too. It was like a cool vibe.
Dang, I should have came.
It was rad, man.
I was just like, man, it was a free show too.
It was free.
But I was just not feeling it for whatever reason. I was just had a long day, and I was like, I'm gonna get some food, and yeah. So, anyways, next time.
Yeah, next time. But yeah, I was gonna reach out, and I was standing there with Nick, and I'm like, I guess I'll call Alex, and he's like, don't bother. He told me no. I was like, okay, well, damn.
Well, if I'd have known everybody was going, maybe I would have came.
It was fun.
Well, cool. Well, yeah, I was gonna say I ran into Tim, but I guess you saw him. So.
Yeah, no, he had. I had gone to the studio to get earplugs, and then the engineer was like, "You just missed Tim. He was here grabbing earplugs." Because I hadn't coordinated with Tim. I was just going to the show.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, if he's grabbing earplugs, he's also going to the show. And so I met him over there. It wasn't like coordinated or anything. Everybody was like, "Hey, we're going to the show tonight," and we just all ended up there.
Dang. Well, that's cool. Bummer. I wish I'd have gone if I'd have known all y'all were going. Yeah. I don't know, man. I probably still would have bailed.
I figured so, yeah.
But, dude, yeah. Saw the guy you introduced me at one of the shows. LCY has been doing a ton of stuff lately. I want to get into that. Kind of catch up on all the things that you guys have been up to as of late. But also last night, sitting at the table with Tim was the dude that just recently is one of the partners that purchased Workplay. I think. Josh.
Yeah.
So I got to meet him briefly when we were out there slinging hot dogs in the freezing cold at the I Hate Gotcha.
He was there last night too.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I ran into him at Saws.
They were all walking
gotcha.
over. So I thought you were talking about the I Hate Gotcha.
But yeah, really, I want to get those dudes on and talk about like the workplay.
I'm sure they'd love to.
acquisition.
I was cracking jokes at him last night because we were after the first band played. We walked out front, we sit down. Me, Tim, Josh walks up, and we're all talking like, just chit chatting. And then one guy comes up and is like, "Yo, Josh, what's going on, man? How's workplay going?" He's like, "It's good, it's good." He's like, "All right, dope." And then
Is that all anybody wants to talk about?
Then he walks off. Then somebody else comes back up. "Yo, Josh, what's going on, brother? Hey, tell me about workplay." And I look at Josh. I'm like, "That's all you talk about, isn't it?" He's like, "That's all people want to know about." I was like, "It's the same with us."
He was nobody, and now he's the workplay dude.
He's like, people just want to know what's going on at LCY with us. That's all we talk about. It's just, it's just work stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe we can get Johnny Grimes back on for a third time.
I'm sure he would love to come talk about it.
Get him and Josh and talk about.
They're doing a lot over there, man.
workplay.
New stages, all new renovations. I think they ripped out the whole front side of it.
Y'all got the tour.
We got the tour it. So he called us like shortly after they signed. I don't know what the time frame was, but they had taken over workplay and they were like getting rid of a lot of furniture and stuff or something like that.
So it was before they opened or doing the first show or anything.
Yeah, no, they're just in there like figuring out what everything is, what they want to keep, what they don't want to keep, stuff that they're ripping out, then new stages that they're going to build. Like, yeah, this is way before any renovations. This is actually when Tim and I were doing renovations at LCY, which we can talk about. But he called us over for a tour, and he took us all over.
Their master plan to revamp the place.
I
don't really know what happened. I guess that's a question for him. Is like, I never went to workplay very much. Like I'd gone there to see a couple of bands throughout the years, but it just wasn't like a normal spot for me to go.
Yeah, same.
And I didn't know, one, that they were even for sale or that they were in trouble or kind of what the story is to how workplay is now under new management and what their plans are to like do something different, I guess.
Don't know.
I think that'd be an interesting conversation.
I think so too. When he took us around, we didn't talk too much about shows and bands and the venue aspect of it. He was telling us more about the sound stage and how the previous owner rented it out a lot to like big movie productions, and they always had some type of filming going on there in the sound stage. He made it sound like that was like
the bread and butter.
Yeah. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
All right.
Get him on.
Johnny, Josh, I'll be sending you guys a message soon. Now that we kind of got this going again. Hopefully we won't take such a large hiatus next time. Our philosophy with this is just for fun and, stuff happens, we get busy, and we just have to step away.
But I see you like every day.
And our audience falls off, and, no one will listen to this anymore. Anyways. But, dude, you are, for those that don't know, we've talked about it before, several times actually, but it's really interesting. You and your business partner, Tim, who's like family now, you guys own LCY, and you've also acquired another building because under LCY, you guys wear a lot of hats, but it's basically morphed into a music venue now, a DIY music space. I think that's what most people associate it with now, but it didn't originally start out to be that.
True. No. How I knew it was official is because I checked our Instagram page, and Tim has now updated our bio that it says multimedia production studio and venue. I'm like, all right, we're a venue now.
Well, you guys do shows there all the time. It's insane. Follow the Instagram. It's like, golly, you guys are constantly announcing shows.
The whole Instagram is just show flyers.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guess from like the outside looking in, that's like what we do now. But it's not like that. All that's like after hours, like we still have like our normal business that we do. We still have photo, video stuff that happened yesterday. Tim was there painting the wall today for another commercial we have this weekend.
Studio sessions there, sessions. Y'all record music, and then up until recently, you had your print shop,
and then we printed merchandise there too.
So tell me about that. Like, you guys have got a new building. You have a new building. Both of y'all have a new building. I imagine you'll be spending most of your time there.
Yes.
The print shop has moved, and then you guys have kind of revamped LCY to be better suited for the venue aspect because, man, it's crazy for anybody who's been there or hasn't been there, it's a pretty small space, especially the old layout.
It's
it
like-
was always amazing to me that you guys ever did shows.
Yeah, it's like a 2,000 square foot building, and we had shows on the floor, so there's not a stage, so it's like ground level. And
So if you're in the back,
yeah, where we
just-
have like our big production white wall where we shoot, commercials and stuff, that's where we'd put a band and just cram people in around it.
And you guys, for anybody listening, may have seen the white. What does he call that series? The Uncuts.
LCY Uncut.
LCY Uncut. That's where it's shot. Is at your place. Yeah. Those videos, really cool, really unique. It's like kind of. I hear people talking about those all the time.
They popped out. I don't know. Tim he seizes opportunities because the venue stuff took off, and we always have bands coming through. Majority of them is like big time touring bands. Tim will like, hey, you guys are playing here tonight. Typically, you show up 2-3 hours early, load in, and hang out. He's like,
Let's do an uncut video.
He's like, you want a free music video? He's like, it'll be done in 10 minutes and edited and put online before you leave tonight. And it's like, it's hard to say no for a lot of bands.
Super rad. And some of them have gone like kind of sort of
It's kind of
viral.
popped
like, dude, it's pretty cool.
It's interesting. I won't toot our own horn, but it's done pretty
Well, I
well.
will. It's cool.
Well, thank you.
I mean, we went out for my buddy Austin's birthday, and I was hanging out with a completely new group of people, and one of the guys that walked up, Austin, introduced me. He was like, "Hey, man, this is the brother of the guy that owns LCY, and that guy's a big fan of you."
Sick.
He's like, "Oh yeah, I love that place." I don't know if he's a fan of music videos or going to shows there or whatever.
Probably the venue. There's a lot of love in the community for LCY, which I'm so thankful for, but I don't get it. I don't know what sets us apart from, because we have so many amazing venues in Birmingham with so many great shows that go on, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have a cool spot, but I look at it in terms of all the other business that we do. It's not like a music venue. Maybe that's the cool part of it, because it's
doesn't
I
feel
don't know.
like just your regular.
I don't know.
But anyways, so bring me up to speed. You guys start doing more music, live shows,
Yes.
and you guys had a benefit show that I was unable to make it to because I had to work that day or something. What was that like?
The benefit so the reason we did a benefit show is trying to kind of back up. We were suffocating inside that building with everything that we do. We had started screen printing for merchandise for bands and stuff, and that had grown so big that we were like blank T-shirts. We were having to put blank T-shirts outside on the production wall anytime we'd have a big job pop up. And it was like hindering the rest of our business because we'd be printing thousands of T-shirts, and then somebody would come in to film their commercial, and you have like blank T-shirts laying everywhere. Yeah. So we're like staging T-shirts in the kitchen and in the bathroom and hiding stuff back behind the wall. And it was like, we sat down and it was like, okay, the print shop is at scale that it can like sustain its own building, so let's move it out.
Yeah.
So once we'll get into all that, but we found another location for that, moved it out. And it's like, all right, now let's use this what's the word? Let's take advantage of all this free space that we have now that the print shop isn't here, and let's rework the venue to better suit
the layout of the whole place.
To better suit like music videos and stuff. So that was one of the big things. Tim's like, hey, if we're gonna like actually do this, we need a stage.
Need a stage.
And it's like, how do you fit a stage in here? What's the best?
There's already
way?
no room, so how do you do it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how do you build a stage but not take away from like the rest of our business, like the professional side of our business?
Like the day use, people coming in.
Like you have UAB coming in filming football stuff. You have Paul Mitchell filming hair commercials. You have Hibbett Sports filming, doing their stuff. It's like,
so you have a big cyclorama white wall space.
Yeah.
That you can do all kinds
the
of
professional photography side of our business.
Yeah.
And how do you like keep that professional, but also have like a big stage that takes up half the building with sound equipment and XLR cables hanging around, and just like, I don't know. That was like a big, yes, it was kind of stressful to figure out how to manage all that and make it work. And shout out to you and Dad, because I had to call in reinforcements and be like, yo, family, help me out. What should we do? And so we landed on a corner stage,
It's a triangular octagonal stage.
Octagonal.
It's not a rectangle stage up against the wall.
Yes.
And so basically what you decided to do was where the recording studio was, knock that wall completely down, that room completely out.
Yes.
And that opened up that whole front half, basically the whole front half of the building where there used to be a big wall in the way, kind of an L shape, I guess. It's hard to describe.
It's hard to describe if you don't.
I'll throw some pictures up. For anybody listening, we do have a YouTube channel. You can watch this episode.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially we had to demolition a room to then make room for a stage.
And why did you guys land on the type of stage that you chose?
For like one, to not take up half of the warehouse, to not then eat up all this free space that we just gained by moving the print shop out.
Yeah.
And then two, so that it was kind of be like tucked up out of the way, and it would still look like a professional space for the other part of our business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have like an arcade and stuff in there. We have vending machines and stuff. It's like, how do we not have to like reconfigure the whole warehouse and if we just like tuck a stage in over here, but still be big enough for like touring bands to play on and increase our capacity inside the building and stuff. Yeah. So,
well, I knew you were slammed, and so yeah, me and Dad volunteered to build the stage.
Dude,
we had no idea what we were doing. We were like, never built a stage before, but we recently added a deck on my house this past summer, so I was like, we'll just build a small porch.
Do it again.
Just do it again. And so I'm curious, now that you guys have had the stage, you've had shows there, and there was like some big deadlines. You had to have the stage done.
Oh, yeah, so that too. So we had been like, hey, we're going to put a stage in and do these renovations, and things were tight, and Tim's like, what do you think if we did a benefit show? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I think people think the venue's cool, but I don't know. Is there community support for something like that? Can you say, like, hey, we're the stage fund? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know how to feel about it. I didn't know.
You didn't have the confidence in it.
Right. Well, I just didn't want it to be taken the wrong way either.
Hey, come give us money.
Right, yeah. So either way, long story short, we did a benefit show. We stacked. We started at like 4 p.m. and went to 11, and there was like 10 or 11, 12, 13 bands or something. It was like an all-day thing. And, dude, the community came out.
Sounds so cool.
God, I hate that I missed it. Man, it was so fun. And the community support was amazing. And just the feedback that we got. And it was really special to see, to see it succeed and people actually, give a shit.
Yeah.
So that's why we did a benefit show. And that's what paid for the stage and handled all the renovations and got us to where we are now.
Okay, cool. So now the stage is up. It's been up for, 2 months now, I guess?
Not even.
Like less than that.
Month. Yeah.
What has been, you kind of confided in me that there was a lot of people with a lot of opinions about how you should build the stage, where you should put the stage, what type of stage, how tall the stage should be, yada, 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 yada. Yeah. You guys had to pick a direction and live with it. Yeah. So we got the stage built. I've only been to one show, the show that I mentioned earlier where I met Josh. But what has been the general consensus, not necessarily from the audience, but from the bands who have played it?
So
what are they?
We had, I glossed over this, but we had decided to build a stage. We did a fundraiser show to raise money for the stage. And then we had like a 2-week window to then build that stage because we had a deadline. We had a band called I Hate God that was on tour, coming through Birmingham to play a show.
I'd never heard of them, but apparently they're pretty big.
They're like massive. And that was one of their things was like, hey, we're too big to play a floor show. We need a stage. So we're like, okay, sure, yeah, duh. We'll have a stage.
Wasn't that Tim? He was just like, oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, done.
When Zach will build it, we got this.
Yes, dude, yes. So we met the deadline. I Hate God came and played, and they were like, we were kind of asking them, like, so what do you think? They're like, yo, the venue's sick. LCY is sick. This is like, I think it was their first stop. And they're like, thank God this was like the first stop. And I think Tim was kind of asking them, like, so what do you think of the stage? And they're like, I mean, yeah, stage is sick. Like,
they didn't really have much to say.
They liked it.
But they didn't have anything negative to say about it. I guess that's the goal.
Yeah.
It's like,
so then the next show, like right after that show, we had another benefit show, kind God, I can't think
Oh,
of
that
the
was
word.
like a.
It was a
Toys for Tots, yeah.
Toys for Tots. And so we just hosted that event. We didn't put it on, but whoever coordinated it, they did like a Toys for Tots things, and all the money went to. You could either donate a toy or buy a ticket at the door. And so there was a lot of people bringing toys and bringing money, and that all got donated. And
Just bands.
but
playing
anyway,
and
so
stuff.
that was like another all day thing. It started at 4 and ran till like 11. Like another 10, 12 bands. And everybody was like, these are like some local dudes who have been playing LCY all year on the floor.
Yeah.
And they're amped. They're like, dude, yes, we
got a
finally
stage
have
now.
a stage now.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, so it's sick. It's people have opinions on how we think we should have built it, and everybody would have done things differently, but all the feedback we've gotten so far, it's thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I know
been-
it got a
been
little
sick.
stressful there for a minute, having that 2-week window to like. You had to shut down.
And it's tour time. Like, it's tour season. And I'm pumping out. We've got hundreds and hundreds of T-shirts that all have to go out that week.
Yeah.
So thank God you and Dad were, like, able to just, like... I was like, I can't... Just whatever you think works, do it. I can't. Call me if something, like you
Yeah,
cut
you
your
gave
arm
us
off.
like the business credit card, and we were just like,
Just go.
okay, we're going to
Go.
Home Depot, and
Yes.
we're going to do this. But man, I was proud of it after I got it done. I was like shooting some videos on my phone. I was like, yeah, I built the stage at LCY. It's cool.
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, dude, that's awesome.
So we still have a lot planned. We, like I said, we've only had it for like a month, and then holidays and stuff. But we're wanting to redo our lighting and stuff inside, and kind of rework our sound system, and may fly some speakers or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool to get the speakers up because right now they're just on stands and have them flown, and that would just free up more floor space around the stage.
So it's not done. If you've been to LCY and you're like, damn, this is what we paid for. It's not done yet. We're getting there. It's slow and steady.
Yeah.
It's the holidays.
Well, I was just hoping that somebody didn't go crashing through the stage. I just hope it was structurally sound.
Oh, sir, dude.
Jumping around and
no,
stuff. It's
no,
like,
no.
okay, cool.
No, we had some stage diving at the Toys for Tots show.
Oh,
It was
really?
Sick, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
People getting kicked in the head, and people not being caught, jumping off stage, and they're just
On the ground.
Yeah.
Well, the printing side of your business, you kind of rebranded that as Big Six.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we got one of your cards there in the back. We got stickers all over the place. But kind of walk me through that because we were kind of talking. I was like, why did you guys kind of separate? But I guess it was just too much under one umbrella.
It was too much. I mean, it still is too much.
Because you see LCY,
Because we're
it's just
so
kind of all encompassing.
We're so ambitious, is what I'll say. We're like, we're not afraid.
Humble brag.
Yes,
there.
dude. Yeah, not humble. No, we are ambitious. I'm the man. We're the shit. We just do a lot. We do. So if you want to come to us for a photography session, you go to LCY Media. If you want a rap video, you go to LCY Media. If you want to throw a hardcore show, you go to LCY Media. If you need T-shirts for your family reunion, you go to LCY Media. And so it was just like it was too much, and people were getting confused, and people would want T-shirts done, and they would DM.
Well, to be fair, you guys don't do family reunion T-shirts. You do
No.
pretty much proprietarily
Band merch.
Band merch.
I only
yeah.
do man merch. That's why we're branded Big Six, so that I don't have to print for churches.
You're not doing it for the soccer club.
That's right, yeah. Because if, this is what I do full time, this is what I choose to do full time, and I don't want to hate my job by printing Bob's hot dogs and T-shirts. I want to print cool merchandise that, like, I want to wear and that, like, I'm proud of seeing around,
But it might be cool to, I don't know, if things got slow to support, like, some
if I
local
needed money,
businesses or something.
trust me, if you
Like
see
cool places, yeah.
No, if you see Big Six printing, charity soccer event or whatever,
Charity
we're
golf,
hurting,
yeah.
buddy. We're hurting. So that was it. We were just branding to try and just associate the print shop as its own thing, its own like entity. It's still under LCY, but it's Big Six. And then it had just grown to it had grown so much outside of this 15 by 15 foot room.
That was small, dude.
It was very small. And it was really hard when we'd have, 1,200 piece orders and you just have nowhere to put stuff.
I've got some video I shot of you just, like, working one day. We were going to make a YouTube video or something. I'm going to play some of that in the background.
I want to see that. I don't even think I've seen that yet.
No, I sent you a clip. I edited, like, a thing together and sent it to you. And you had some critiques, but we never posted it. And I was like, hey, just walk me through a day
like a
in the life.
tour. I thought
Yeah.
you meant of us like actually printing.
Well, I think I mixed in some footage that Tim had of y'all printing a job.
No, if you see it, you see it. I didn't see it.
But I always thought it was so cool is you come into the venue and then you had the window there in the back.
That was nice.
You could look through and like see your print shop in the evening, even though you weren't in there printing.
That's the one thing LCY has going for it. You have bands come in to play the venue, and then Tim offers them a music video, and then while they're there, they see the print shop and you get merch printed before they leave on tour. It's like it all worked so well. But
you just
almost
needed a building
to
like 3 times the size.
Yes. It actually it hurt us in a bit in just the fact that we couldn't keep everything in that one room.
Yeah.
And so Tim and I sat down and had the conversation of like, all right, are we at a point, do we feel like, the print shop can sustain its own building? Yes. Do we feel like we have enough jobs coming in to, keep me busy enough and slowly start building a team to do Big Six? Yes. Do we want to get another building? Would that be cool to have 2 locations? I mean, hell yeah, that'd be sick. And so we decided that very, very early on, months and months and months ago, if not a year ago. And we were immediately started looking for new locations and just
striking
nothing,
out.
dude. Nothing.
I think we talked about that before, but yeah, we got our realtor buddy who's been on the podcast, it turned out to be a great friend.
Dude, yes. And he showed us a lot of really cool spots. And there's even one building over on First Avenue North that's still there. It was for sale. It was in our price range. It needed a lot of work done, but it was like under contention or something. What's it called?
Is that the one with the mural painted on the front?
Yes.
Yeah. It's right down from 41st Street.
Yeah, but it was in some weird limbo financial
Dude, that place
thing.
was rough though.
But it would have been so cool. See, that's the thing. Man. I wasn't afraid. We were looking, LCY in itself was a rundown, dilapidated building. And we took a chance on it. We got it for pennies on the dollar, and we invested our money into the renovations. And look what it is now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we could totally do it again. I'm not afraid to do that again. And so we were looking at dilapidated, rundown buildings.
To just buy and renovate.
Yeah.
Own.
Because we were at the time tired of renting, and we were kind of in limbo with our current leaseor of LCY, and if we were going to get to stay there, if things were going to jack up our rates, if we had to, but it all ended up working out, and we signed another term there, and it all worked out, and then we found this hidden gem, 10 minutes away from our current location, and it's like bigger than LCY is, and it's like, I don't know, all the cards just fell into place, and it worked out.
It is awesome. And we've got some big plans for that place, me and you.
Dude, yes, I'm so excited.
Dude, it's so cool. It's a huge building with
it's a 3,000
backyard.
3,000 square foot space warehouse, but it's like they took 2 buildings that were like side by side and then just opened it up in the middle.
Yeah.
Like the way it's kind of partitioned and stuff.
Dude, yeah, huge kitchen. I think we were talking about that kitchen alone is like...
It's bigger than my print shop. It's bigger than the old print shop that I was in.
Just the kitchen.
At LCY, yeah, just the kitchen. Yeah. Yes. It's
a
awesome.
Little front courtyard thing. I think that's super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I want to have a garage. I mean, we've been talking about that, like having like a full, like an actual shop. Big things in the future for me personally and everything I've got going on. But yeah, having a cool shop to like tool on bikes and
just having cool everything.
And just having a cool
So that's the thing.
Space,
it was like,
man,
we kind of get to take advantage of like the success of Big Six in the sense that like the print shop in itself is still fairly small. And we've got this huge, massive location that's
Fantasy factory,
yes,
man.
Dude. Yeah, like the possibilities are endless. And it's like, all right, what else can we do?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
we got a garage being built out. Chopper Emporium is coming. The McKown brothers. Keep an eye out. Just a lot of cool stuff. I won't give a lot away, but
one of the projects me and you have been talking about, we're both into motorcycles, and obviously we've had several podcast episodes that were just focused on motorcycles. And you had recently acquired my old bike, which is a Kawasaki Vulcan, which is kind of their cruiser line. which we've had for years. It was
Dude, we've had that
Marty's,
so long.
and then it was Dad's, and then it was mine, and then it was yours, and it's gone through a couple of
It's
iterations.
a family heirloom at this point, and it's all been chopped every step of the way.
Every step of the way.
Yeah.
But it does have its quirks, specifically in trying to find tutorial videos, parts, everything on its metric. And so finally, I think I pitched to you. I was like, man, Sportsters are pretty easy to work on. We've talked to a lot of dudes that work on Sportsters. There's a lot of local dudes here that sell parts for Sportsters. Shout out to Gremlin Wiring.
Oh, yeah. I'll be hitting him up.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, I'm wanting to learn. I can weld a little bit, but I want to really, learn to weld, for real, and want to have a project to learn on. And that's when I started coming to you. I was like, man, let's just go in on a Sportster.
You can just get Sportster. And you know what did it was I got sick. And I was stuck at home for 8 or 9 days and searching on YouTube, and one of just a Sportster chopper video popped up, and you watch it, and then the algorithm's like, oh, this is what you want to watch all the time, always, forever. And so for 8 days, for 8 days, I watched just all these just random Sportster builds. And then I got to looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, damn, that's nothing. Let's
in the grand scheme of things,
done. Let's do it.
You can get a running Sportster for $2,000, probably less than that, depending on what year you want.
So I'm game. I'm like, yo, let's do a real project bike this winter and actually work on something. I want hobbies outside of screen printing and music venue stuff.
Yeah,
and choppers is the avenue.
I think so. And as soon as we can get through this stage, we're kind of in the holiday season, and got a lot going on. But man, yeah, I'm ready to
the McKown brothers, baby, 2024
get stuff going.
Woo!
Yeah, dude. I'm pumped, and there's a lot of stuff I want to do to my bike. I love mine.
It's so,
but I want to chop.
What? Finally,
need more hours in the day.
You know what? Finally flipped the switch for me. Because you and Dad have always ridden bikes. Dad, especially, has always ridden motorcycles. Thunder Beach and just...
Dude, Thunder Beach is fun, man.
But I was never the motorcycle dude. And Dad was always like, let me know when you're ready. We'll get you a bike. And I'm just like, bikes are cool, but it's not that's never been my thing.
Yeah.
And then Dad brought home your Harley in the back of a trailer. That old barn find.
Yeah.
And he dropped the door down, and I saw it, and it clicked. I'm like, damn, that bike is so sick. Stock. Just how it sits.
Oh, yeah, bone stock.
And every time you go taking stuff off of it, it chips away. It's like, damn, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. I love that bike. And forever,
I haven't done
when
too
it
much.
sat
Yeah.
down here, I was on you, and I'm like, tell me if you have no plans of doing anything with this bike. I don't know anything about bikes, but I want that bike. And you're like, no, I'm going to get it going. And for months and months and months, I was waiting.
sat down here for 2 years.
I was waiting for you to be like, yeah, I think I'm going to sell the bike. And, I was going to be on it. I don't know what I would have done with it, parked it, and just looked at it every day. Man, but that's what did it.
It's great, man. I can't take credit. I hit up Loaf at Sanctuary, and he got it running for me. Didn't have to do a whole lot. Luckily, it was still in good condition. And so everything I want to do now is just more aesthetics. You stare at something for a long time, and you're never satisfied. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much you work on it. It's like you ride it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I want to do this. And there's another dude in town that has a bike very similar to mine, and some of the stuff that he's done is so cool. And so I draw a lot of inspiration from that, and that's kind of the new wave of where my brain is. And I think the main thing is I just want to slim it down. It's got the big, dual stock tank, and it's just huge if you look at it from the back. And
it looks awesome.
I mean, it does look cool. It's got the old logo that I really like, and I hate that it got kind of messed up a little bit. That's a whole other story.
We don't talk about that.
But
no, dude, that bike is perfect. It's perfect.
Well, I've been very happy riding
perfect.
it. I'm not chomping at the bit to go ripping it apart.
Why don't you buy a Sportster and give me your bike? I'll ride that thing stock.
I like mine, dude.
I like it too.
So.
I think I like it more than you do.
You can ride it anytime. I got it parked at your shop, dude.
That is true. Yeah, yes.
Trade up bikes.
I've thought about it. So anyway,
once we go in on a Sportster and get that built, then we'll just
I'm excited for that.
And then we need to get the Vulcan running because it's got some. That's the biggest headache, man, with the Vulcan It's like I was just trying to find some videos online of how to like get the jetting right, because as much as I've worked on it and stuff, it's got a real high idle, it's running real rich, or it just wants to die. And there's no in between. And so it runs, but it's not running correctly, and I just can't seem to find anybody in town that knows much about them or anything online. And it's just frustrating. And I think that was the big turning point for me. I was just like, screw this, man. Let's get a Harley. Like, let's just
buy a Harley. Yeah.
Get a Harley, with a good, solid running Evo
Look,
engine.
freaking Dwayne sticker right back there. Boat rights, peculiar parts. Ride a Harley, or the devil will get you.
Yes. So there's something to be said about that. And just the support. I mean, like, I don't know. I've asked a lot of people that came on this podcast. And you're just like, what is it about Sportsters? Everybody has a Sportster. And I think, the dude from Gremlin, whose name is escaping me right now. Ape Knuckles, yeah. He was just like, man, it's the working man's bike. I mean, and you see him everywhere. Almost to a point where you were kind of making fun of, like, one of the videos you watched. It's like all the dudes that basically don't know anything, like us.
Yeah.
They're like, I built my first Harley, and I'm so proud of it.
So
it's like,
there's
you put together a Lego set.
Well, there's context there. Yes, there is context that, like, you can essentially buy the whole ass end of that bike that comes with the seat, the oil pan, the battery box, and everything's ready to get. It's got the fender on it already. It's like you just chop off the back end of your bike and then weld that on. Which, I mean, go for it. Yeah, super hella easy.
That's what we're going to do.
But you got guys in there, it's like, yeah, I wanted something completely custom that I could build from the ground up, piece by piece, that I could weld together. And I'm like, no, sir.
You bought a kit.
Close, but not quite,
But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
and so, yeah.
It's going to be us.
That's totally going to be us.
Yeah.
Have you landed on one that you like better than the other? Because there's like Prism makes a hardtail kit, Throttle Addiction makes a hardtail kit.
They're all good. I think I'm more partial to
TC
Lowbrow.
Bros. Lowbrow's
I just like Lowbrow, just as a company. I think I'm loyal to Lowbrow just because I like Lowbrow.
True. The Throttle Addiction kit looks cool. But
Throttle Addiction's cool.
Is so expensive.
It's as much as the bike is.
It's so
it's just like the same price as a Sportster.
Dude, they are proud of their stuff.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff. No shade. All the brands, TC Bros, they got cool stuff. Everybody does. I just like Lowbrow.
So once we start doing that, we're going to start a YouTube channel and just start documenting
put it on Heavy Ultra.
Or put it on
I'm not making another YouTube channel.
No, well, I'll do it then. No, I want to keep this. Dude, Heavy Ultra's just going to be the podcast. Like,
Come on.
We can do other stuff under another umbrella.
You know, Heavy Ultra has a second channel. It's called Ultra Heavy. We can start uploading stuff to it.
I forgot about that.
It was like a Clips channel, but it was like...
We never used it.
Yeah, we didn't use it. Nobody watched it. We have it.
Yeah. Well, thanks to everybody out there who actually takes the time. There's 1 million podcasts on this planet, and there's 1 million being created every single day. Mm-hmm. And so for anybody that's listening to this or has listened to any of the episodes we've done in the past, we appreciate it. So it's fun, man. I didn't realize how much I would enjoy this, kind of getting to talk with people and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
it's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I don't know. For a bit there, we were doing one every single week, every day.
It's
every week. I mean, we did 70-something episodes back to 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 back.
Yeah.
And so it got, but we talked about it. So we kind of took a.
And we're kind of restructuring things going forward.
I feel really good about it.
It'll be cool.
I'm back in it now.
Just a heads up, though. We're going to shoot and record as much as we can here in this location, but the podcast will be moving.
We'll be moving.
We
don't know when, but
we don't have a date set, but it will happen. I'm just hoping whatever the new set looks like, if we're even able to do a set with our space restrictions, will be somewhat similar.
I think we can figure it out, though. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be great no matter what we do. But yeah, changes are coming.
That change is a good thing sometimes.
Change is a good thing sometimes. As I look at that change skateboard sticker right there, change is good sometimes.
Shout out to Change Skateboard Shop in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, Heavy Ultra 2024, McKown Brothers. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. LCY, Big Six.
Yeah, thanks for listening, watching, supporting. We appreciate it. That's it. All right, I'm done.